Ready? I'd
I'm
like to
ready.
call to order and record our quorum. We do have a quorum of 4 members. Thank you for being here today. It's much appreciated. Um, We have several business items, but before we get into that, we need to take a look at the minutes from the last meeting, and they are attached. Whoever feels ready to make a motion to
I make
approve.
a motion to approve the minutes of September 23rd.
Is there a second to the motion?
I second. I second.
Having received a motion and a second, place it up for vote. All those in favor signify, please, by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Turn back to our agenda. The board will elect a chairperson and a vice chairperson from its members to serve a 2-year term. I'll open the floor up for that. Who would like to serve as our chairman again? Anybody have a nomination for the chairman?
If I may, I'll nominate myself.
You nominate yourself?
Yes.
So, Cal Grady has nominated himself. Is there a second to his nomination?
I'll second that.
And who did the second come from? I'm sorry.
And what position are you nominating yourself, chair or vice chair?
Just a simple chair.
Neither.
So my understanding is Cal Grady has nominated himself, and it's been seconded for chairman. Is that correct, Mr. Grady?
Yes,
Or-
sir.
Okay. So a motion has been made for Cal Grady to be chairman, and it's been seconded. I'll take the vote now. All those in favor of appointing Cal Grady as the chairman of the Board of Adjustment, please say yay or nay.
Yay.
Okay, I hear yay from
Yay, from Richard Martinez.
Richard Martinez, yay. The other yay was
Yay.
yay. Mr. Grady?
Yes, sir.
Yay from
Yes, sir.
you?
Yes.
Let's make it a unanimous then. It's yay. Okay, so it passes. So, sir, you are now the chairman. Now we're going to vote on the vice chairman. Since you're the chairman now, you can take over at this time.
Okay. To appoint for vice chairman, who would like to make their position known, please?
I'd make a recommendation for Lamar Gilliam to be vice chair.
Lamar Gillian.
I accept that nomination. Thank you.
I second.
Motion's been made and seconded for Lamar Gillian as vice chairman. It's your turn to take over the meeting.
Yes. Call for a vote, gentlemen.
Aye.
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 Okay. On board. Okay. Now, continuing on for register for Nicholas. How do you say his last name? Nicholas Lamborghini, Department of Community Development.
Mr. Grady, can I
Yes.
be recognized?
Yes, sir.
So we're on number 2. Back to the agenda.
First time. Okay.
Okay, Mr. Grady, one moment. For all of you, number 2 is the open hearing that Mr. Grady will open. And then you can also call, if there's no one here to speak to the topic from the community, you can call staff, which Nick is here to speak to topic as well. Then you'll hear the comments, and then you will close the hearing. Each time you open and close, you need to state the time.
Okay.
Number 3, Mr. Grady and everyone, you now open discussion about what you heard. You do not discuss in number 2, you discuss in number 3. And the 3 items that are on the agenda, each one is like that. So you'll have 3 public hearings where you will hear information, you will close the hearing, and then you open for discussion. So in that regard, number 3 goes with number 2, number 5 goes with number 4, and number 7 goes with number 6. And you need to read all of what's on number 2 and then state the time and open the hearing, Mr. Grady.
Okay, so I would say the time is now 5:06, and we'll be doing, board will conduct a public hearing to receive public comment for the citizens on a variance application submitted by Albert Davila of property located in 2910 Hillcrest Drive, Balcony Heights, Texas, 78201, legally described a CB 5894A Block 1, Lot B, zoned O1 low-rise office. The applicant is requesting variances of section 150.28B, commercial business, and sections 153.3.4.2F, side setback, and 153.342G, rear setback of City Code BOA chairpersons. We'll begin with an open public hearing.
There was no one from the public here to speak to that topic, so you may call staff.
Okay, staff? Nick?
You pull the first one. It'll start on the slide 2910 Hillcrest Drive. You got it. Great. And then we'll start on property information. Great. Okay. Good evening, board. Glad we're finally meeting after many months. We have 3 applicants tonight. The first one's going to be 2910 Hillcrest Drive for Albert Davila of Davila Electric. Again, zoning is O1 low rise office. We've gone over the legal description. This is described as BCAP property ID 358171. Next slide, please. So we're going to have 3 different variances that are going to be requested here. The first one's going to be 150.28B, commercial businesses. This has to do with the quantity of cargo containers located at the property. So currently, as the ordinance reads, you may store.
Is everyone on this page now?
Yes.
Quantity of cargo containers. So you may store, maintain, otherwise keep a maximum of 2 cargo containers on a lot or property within a non-residential zoning district. The cargo container must be placed on an approved surface, and the building official must approve its location. So as you can see, that underlined section there, maximum of 2 cargo containers, is the requested variance area where they're requesting a relief to 5 cargo containers on property. The second requested variance is 153.3.4.2. This is going to be off to the right-hand side of that page. F and G, this is going to be your setback table. Currently, that setback table is set at 5 feet from the rear and from the side. This just has to do with, where these cargo containers can be placed in relation to that back fence and that, the rear of the fence and then the side of the fence. 5 feet is already, well within distance, but, whenever you go place, they're not out there measuring, so this is, I believe within 4.5 feet. So it's not really much change to what that tabular form already is. Next slide, please. They're continuing on from that 150.28 commercial businesses and the tabular form. So requesting of 4 feet and requesting of 5 cargo containers. Next slide, please. So just to go over this ordinance intent, this allows commercial property owners the ability to utilize cargo and shipping containers as additional storage options for their businesses without the financial investment of expanding or renovating the permanent structure. The cargo and shipping containers should not adversely affect the character of the neighborhood. This is pulled directly from our municipal code of ordinances, from the city plan 2040. That's the intent of adopting this ordinance, and the requested variances do not affect the intent of it. This next slide, you're going to see the current placement of the shipping cargo containers. We have 3 directly right behind the building that is not viewable from the right of way, and then 2 that are viewable from the right of way only if the gate is open, which I believe most of the business operating hours that gate is closed. So most, if not all the time, all cargo shipping containers are not viewable from the right of way or from neighboring properties. They are yes, a little bit encroaching on that 5-foot setback, but by 6 inches max. We're not too close where it's causing any fire hazards or anything like that. Scroll down, please. The third variance that is being requested has to do with wall signs. This is going to be your ordinance 153.12.10, which oversees wall signs. Hillcrest Drive is classified as a minor arterial, but any O1 zoned office on Hillcrest Drive is considered the Hillcrest District, where there is no authorized signage allowed there. As you can see, if this was just the minor arterial that we're looking at, it's allowable up to 80 square feet. Next slide, please. The proposed sign that they're wanting is only 36 square feet, nowhere near what would be encroaching on the 80 square feet. That's maximum allowable on Hillcrest Drive. Anywhere else that is not an O1 zoned area. Before you go, there you go. Off to the right there, that is the proposed sign that they're going to be using on the wall there, just to identify their business and promote a little bit more visibility there and establish them as a sense of place, because there's not really much signage on location right now. Scroll down, please. There's going to be a loose placement of the sign. I believe the sign has been with their business for many years now. I think that they've brought it from their previous location before they relocated to Bacones Heights. Next slide, please. So ordinance intent for signage here. So city recognizes the safety, commercial, emergency, and informational needs for signs. This article has been adopted to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens by regulating the location, construction, duration, size, height, installation, and maintenance of all signs within the jurisdiction of the city in accordance with LGC Article 216. Additionally, this article is intended to enhance property values, maintain aesthetic attractiveness, and promote commercial opportunity in the city, and support and further the objectives of the city's comprehensive master land plan. I underlined that last section there because the requested variances for this wall sign is clearly aligning with the intent of why this ordinance was adopted. It's not straying away from it. It's not causing any harm to neighborhood characteristics or anything like that. There's no issues with safety, emergency needs, and this just promotes the commercial needs for this business. Next slide, please. So with all these public hearings, we're required to send a 200-foot public hearing notice to any residents, commercial businesses that are within that range. We received one response that was not included in your packet because it was received after the packet was due here. We received one in favor of the change. This is from the property owner of 2922 Hillcrest. The rest of the properties that these were sent out to were non-responsive. They do not oppose or in favor of the change. So we have one in favor of this change. Recommendation is shipping containers. Well, one, to approve the variance for shipping containers, but they do not adversely affect the character of the neighborhood and do not pose a fire hazard or risk or anything like that. It aligns with the intent of the ordinance and helps support this business. Same thing with the wall sign. Is my recommendation is to approve this variance. Clearly aligns with enhancing the character of the neighborhood, helps promote this business, falls in line with the full intent.
Okay, so as of now, there's any further questions or comments, the time is 5:15. We'll begin closing. Uh, Anyone with public comments?
No, just staff.
Okay. Okay, then we'll begin closing public hearing and move on to number 3. The time is 5:15. For now, we'll be considering the board will consider an active variance application submitted by Albert Del Real for the property located at 29110 Hillcrest Drive, Balcony Heights, 7201, requesting variances of section 150.28B, commercial businesses, and sections 153.342F, side setback, and 153.34 to G, rear setback, rear setback of City Code BOA chairperson.
If y'all have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. We
Chairman, I
also
have
have the
floor.
business owners here.
You may, sir. Go ahead.
I have a question.
Microphone. Is it?
Yes. This original application was submitted October the 29th, 2025.
Correct.
And when I read some of the requirements to reapply, there's no appeal under this article may be filed by the same applicant within 365 days of the date filed upon which the board denied such appeal. Are you familiar with that?
I'm familiar with that. This appeal has not been denied. They never had a hearing in October.
There's a denial letter right here.
That's a denial for a permit. That's the prerequisite for them to apply for the Board of Adjustments. It is first application to the building department. If it does not fall within the municipal
Yeah,
code of ordinances,
for the shipping containers.
yes.
And this denial letter, you telling me he did not come before this board and request?
He has not come before this board. I don't believe this board has met since July or August of last year. In order to apply for a hearing with the Board of Adjustments, they need a denial letter from the building department that they were not allowed to pull their permit. That is a denial letter there that I've included in your packet that I filled out, not the board. September. Great. September 23rd was the last meeting.
It's confusing. Because I'm clearly reading it. Thank you for submitting the car container permit application for the commercial property. After reviewing your application, we regret to inform you that permit is denied.
Correct. They apply for the permit with the building department, not with the Board of Adjustments. They cannot come before the Board of Adjustments without a denial that they cannot pull that permit. The reason that they're seeking the request for a variance is because they were unable to pull a permit under the current code. So there's going to be denial letters for all the applicants tonight. That's the prerequisite to be here tonight for a hearing.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other question?
Anyone have questions?
Again, the property owners are here if you have questions for them.
Yes, of course, of course. We would like to hear. Time is 5:19. Upon request, I would like to hear the property owners. If you'd be so kind, if they would step forward.
Mark?
Thank you.
I was told that mic was broken, so.
Go ahead.
Mark Davila for Davila Electric. What questions do you have? Yes, sir.
Do we have copies of the neighbors' acceptance or denial?
In favor or against?
Yep.
I have one here that was submitted. That's why it's not in your packet. Would you like to see it?
Yeah, I mean, it's 93 pages or so here. I can't find it. All right, thank you. I have no more questions.
I just wanna-
Mr. Chairman, may I speak?
Yes, of course, sir.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Gillen, do you mind if I say one thing really quick?
Of course.
So in your packets as well, I've included a list of all property owners within 200 feet. This is what it gets mailed out to. This is before every presentation. So everybody receives this letter. The page right after the addresses of anybody within 200 feet is going to be the public notice that is sent out. Everybody gets this public notice within 200 feet of those property owners. If I don't receive anything, then it's, they're not against it and they're not in favor of it. The only one that we have recorded for this one is one in favor, nobody against the variances that are requested today. If I do receive it before before the packets due, it will be included in your packet, but if not, then I'll just bring it like I did tonight. Thank you, Mr. Gillen.
Mr. Davila, I do have the floor, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Mr. Davila, hello again. On the Connex containers, the presentation we had said, the setback is going to be 4 feet for some of them and 3 feet for the others. Is there a reason why you can't accommodate the 5 foot? I believe 5 foot is a city standard. Is there a reason why you can't make 4, 5 and 3, 5?
So when they were first dropped off, they're not measured when they're dropped off a giant trailer. So we were trying to get as close as possible as we could to the 5 foot. At this point, they're full of equipment. They're full of scaffolding. They're full of everything. they're full. So the only issue would be moving all the vans out, moving the curbs for the vans out of the way, unloading all the trailers, hiring someone to come and move them that extra half foot or foot. So it would just be an additional expense that I was hoping to be able to avoid.
If I may continue, what kind of fencing do you have around the property?
It's an 8-foot wood fence.
8-foot wood fence?
Yes, sir.
Those Connex containers probably will not be visible. Is that correct?
They're 8 foot tall. No, sir, they're not visible from the
Okay.
neighbors.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
If I could just provide a little background information. Mr. Davila was given a verbal response that there was no permits required for a cargo container, which is why they're placed on property right now before a permit was issued. This was prior to me taking over the position for permitting, so he would not have moved forward without that verbal confirmation from the department who was here before me. So, but here we are in this situation. So,
Thank you.
I have a question.
Go
Is
ahead.
this a two-part, one for shipping containers and one for a sign? For the same?
correct.
Okay. Haven't heard anything about the sign yet, but I'm gonna make a motion to approve the shipping containers. If that's appropriate.
If I may,
Yes.
I second that motion.
Call for a vote to approve?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
I'm gonna have Roy pull back up the sign here. Can we scroll up here? There we go, right there. Fantastic. So, one more, please. Actually, no, back up. Fantastic, right there. So, part of the variance is right. So the shipping containers we covered one. Wall sign was the other one, 153.12.10. So I just want to reiterate here, Hillcrest Drive is a minor arterial. Any minor arterial in the city that is not part of the Hillcrest District is allowed to have an 80 square foot sign. Hillcrest District is considered O1 property, or O1 zone properties along Hillcrest Drive, where there is no authorization of wall signs in that area. Scroll down, please. The sign that they're proposing is 36 square feet, less than half of what would be allowed in any other area for along a minor arterial. Scroll down one more. And then here's just the proposed location. That is not to size. That is just me drawing a circle on the picture there. So please don't take that to scale. I think it's pretty close though. Great, fantastic. So we're
Very close.
taking very little area of that front facade there. I just, Joe included in your packet the ordinance for Board of Adjustments and how we make decisions for these variances. I just want to go over that one time really quickly. They need to provide hardship as to why we're approving these variances, right? That y'all made that decision for the shipping containers already. It is a hardship for these O1 zone properties not able to advertise their business and the means that they're allowed to, right? It is selective to discriminate against the O1 zone properties here in the Hillcrest District. This fully meets the criteria, and that is why I'm providing the recommendation that we should be approving this variance for the wall sign. That is less than half of what they would be allowable in any other minor arterial section of the city. If you have any
May-
questions, please let me know.
May I be recognized?
Yes, sir.
Would you back up to the first picture we saw? That sign, yeah, there it is. Dublin Electric. Okay. It definitely does not violate the area of signage, but because it's in a non-residential area, they have to come before us. Am I understanding that correctly?
They
Wait.
have to come before the board because they're in a unique district. So any of those O1 zone properties, like I talked about, are
Mhm.
considered the Hillcrest District, where there's
Mhm.
no wall signage allowed.
Mhm.
That's the reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So if they had any other zoning along Hillcrest, or if they were one of the apartments, or closer here to the Justice Center, they'd be allowed to do this. But just those last couple of properties along Hillcrest are not allowed to have the signage.
So as I understand it, the only problem with moving out on this sign is where it's located on that street.
Correct. It is
That's-
how the property is zoned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
You got it.
Appreciate that.
And then, Mark, can you do me a favor? Can you tell me how long y'all have had that sign?
That was on our original shop. We've had it for at least 20, maybe 30 years. We had it built years and years and years back, and we're just hoping to keep on using the same sign everyone's used to seeing.
Great.
Thank you.
We begin voting for the approval of the sign now. All in favor? Motion to approve?
No, you need to call for the motion.
Oh, yes. Call for the motion, call for the approval of the motion of the sign as of right now, as of 5:29. All in favor?
Just call for the motion without guiding them to approval.
Call for a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
I second.
Okay, third? I approve.
Excuse me. After you get the approval of the motion, you call for a vote on a motion. And did I not hear that?
My apologies. Call for a vote?
There you go.
Thank you.
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion pass.
Great. Thank y'all. So we'll get permits this week, and then y'all are good. Thank
Okay,
you.
I'd like to thank the board for their time. Appreciate that.
Thank you, sir. The time is now 5:30 and we'll begin. Today, the board will be conducting the public hearing to receive public comments for the citizens on variance applications submitted by Louis Espinar for properties located at 610, 612, 614, 618, 620, and 622 on Gentleman Road, Balcony Heights, 7201, legally described as CB 5894, Lot 3G, Country Gentleman Estates subsidiary, CB subdirectory, CB 5894, Lot 3H, Country Gentleman Estates sub D, CB 5894, Lot 3J, Country Gentleman Established sub D, CB 5894, Lot 3M, Country Gentleman Estates Sub D CB 5894, Lot 3L, Country Gentleman Estates Sub D CB 5894, Lot 3K, Country Gentleman Estates Sub D zoned R5 Townhouse Residence. The applicant is requesting variances of section 1533153 C and 153315 3E of chapter 8 of the City Code BOA chairperson. We'll begin with an open public hearing.
There's no citizens signed up to speak. You may call for staff.
Okay, call for staff. Permits.
Okay, we'll have another presentation here. Let me just give a little background. I failed to do that in the last one. So, Mr. Espinar here, over there, submitted an application to renew two variances. These are two variances that were granted back in 2021. This is for the properties located at 610, 612, 614, 618, 620, and 622 Gentleman Road. That is six zoned R5 zone properties here along Gentleman Road. That's going to be the one vacant lot that you see when you drive down Gentleman off to the left behind Chick-fil-A there. The requested variance renewals would allow the proposed residential development to proceed without modifying the existing utility configuration, which Mr. Espinar has spent quite a bit of money making sure those utilities were put there. And as reducing, it will also, let me back up here. Proceed without modifying the existing utility configuration or reducing the number of proposed dwelling units with the current configuration for the plating of that property. The applicant has also requested a waiver of a variance renewal fee for the board's consideration here. You can request a waiver of fees if it is a renewal. That is the only criteria there if it's a renewal. So again, these were granted back in 2021. He's looking for renewal of those two variances. Variances do expire after 1 year if there is no movement on that variance that was granted. Can you pull up the presentation, please? Not the email, not the email. The PDF. On the packet. Yeah, the packet. Keep going down. You got it. Long ways down there. Fantastic. Again, this is for 610 through 622 Gentleman Road, all even numbered properties. Scroll down, please. Without reading all those legal descriptions again and all the BCAT property IDs, I think we understand that this is 610 through 622 Gentleman Road, R5 townhouse residences. Scroll down, please. So just to provide a little context, here is the current site along Gentleman Road on your screens in front of you. The left is going to be an aerial view. The right is going to be a street view from Google Maps there. I don't have an exact timeline of how long that's been vacant. Lewis can give a better answer here later on when y'all call him up for questions. Scroll down, please. So the variances requested here. The first one's going to be 153.3.1.5 3C site requirements. And again, the outlining is going to be the important information that we're looking at here, what they're requesting variances from within that ordinance. So first one is C, all parking lots, stalls, or garage entrances for townhouse units shall be accessible from the rear of the property by alleys or internal drive aisle accessing the rear of the unit. Insofar as practicable, I can't get it. Exterior off-street parking facilities shall be grounded in bays at the interior of blocks. No off-street parking space shall be more than 100 feet by the most direct pedestrian route from a door to the dwelling unit it is intended to serve. So the requested area of variance is rear access for parking there. The next request is 153.3.1.53E design requirements. And this is garages and parking areas shall not be emphasized along street frontages. Attached detached garages in the rear yard with access to mid-block streets or private shared driveways along the rear of the property are preferred. Again, that underlying area is the area that we're going to be looking at. The way that he has his layout right now is going to be front access for the vehicles, not rear access. Given the size of this property, there's just no feasible way for us to force him to have any rear access for these vehicles. If so, then you're limiting the amount of units that he's able to put on that property, in addition to changing up the utility designs right now, where there's existing water, sewer, and electric for all 6 of those properties configured for this internal front access for vehicles. Scroll down to the next slide. This is a loose configuration of the layout. So those 6 squares, the blue and the red squares on the left, are going to be how those houses, not to scale, please note that's not to scale, but how they will be aligned. You're going to see that long kind of rectangular area between those squares. That's going to be your driving access aisle, where the vehicles would drive through that little alleyway and be able to access their garage through the front of their home, not the rear of their home. On the right, again, is going to be that aerial view of the property. Scroll down, please. So just going back to the ordinance purpose, right? This is 153.3.1 of 5 R5 townhouses. I've highlighted those green areas because this is where we're kind of aligning where this variance is and how it falls in line with the current ordinance. So the intent aligns with ensuring location and design standards are compatible with the surrounding property, which this does satisfy the need. Make efficient, economical, comfortable, and convenient use of scarce land and open space resources. This does. It is an infill property that we're trying to make sure is redeveloped. There has to be unique creative ideas to be able to place housing here, which Mr. Espinar has been able to do. And then serve the public purpose of increasing density by providing an alternative to conventional arrangements of yards and building areas, which this needs to. This property is well below an acre. It is fitting the need for density, right? It is fitting 6 houses there. There's no change on lot minimum size, which it is going to meet the need for. It is just changing up the access for those cars there. Next slide, please. Excuse me. Once we start looking at our city plan 2040 here, permitting these variances addresses issues identified, and all these issues are identified by residents, right? That table on the right that you see, these are all answers that were provided by residents back in 2022, 2023, addressing the strengths, the weaknesses, the threats that this community is facing. It's addressing aging housing stock. We're able to get 6 new homes in this community. Population decline, right? We're making sure that it is a dense area or a denser area, where we're making sure more residents move into the area, and it's satisfying the need of there being a lack of inventory, right? There are 2 different areas that are zoned R5 townhome, but there's no townhome places here in the city, right? So we're making sure we're satisfying all these needs that were identified by our residents. Next slide, please. Before going to the recommendation, I just want to say this is another property where we send 200-foot notices to. I received no written notice of in favor or opposed. I did receive one phone call that they are not opposed to the changes, and this is from the property owner of Chick-fil-A. This is the one directly behind this property. They have no issues with whatever variances are being requested here. Again, the recommendation here is going to be approve the renewal of both variances, right? The board has already made a decision before to approve this in the past. The requested variances do not adversely affect the neighborhood character or the intent of the ordinance, which is very important here. The approval of the variance will also strengthen and address goals that have been outlined by the community input in the City Plan 2040. That'll be the end of my presentation.
So to receive the public comment, is Louis Espinar here today to speak? Yes, please. Please step forward to the mic. Thank you.
Good evening. This is Louis Espiner. I'm open for any questions.
Louis, do you have anything do you want to provide to them before they ask you any questions? Any background information that I didn't cover for you?
No, I think you covered it all pretty well. It was originally designed to get started, and if you look at the dates that we kind of tackled this, COVID hit, shut everybody down for about a year and a half, and banks changed their minds on a lot of stuff. So I've been holding it because I know it's a great location for medical center, and that's how I see the city of Balcones. This is a medical center draw where you're so close to what I'm seeing as a revitalization of the med center, also with new buildings, new businesses, huge oncologists, all kinds of good stuff happening. So my intent was to build 6 townhomes for people that wanted to live in the area that use the medical center, nurses, doctors, whatever that may be.
Mr. Grady, if there's no other comments, then you need to close the public hearing.
Anyone else have any other comments? Okay, so as of right now, 5:42, we will begin closing the public hearing and then motion to a vote.
You need to read the next.
May we have a discussion among the members?
Yes.
You need to, so number 5 goes along with number
Whoops.
4.
My
So
apologies.
now that you've closed it, you need to read to the board number 5,
Yes.
and then you can open it for discussion.
Okay, yes. Okay, my apologies. Board will consider the active variance application submitted by Louis Espinar for the properties located at 610, 612, 614, 618, 622, and 622 Gentleman Road, Balcony Heights, 78201, Texas, requesting variances of sections 1528B, commercial businesses, and section 153.3153C and 153.3153E, 8 of City Code, and the request of waiver fees or variances renewal of the BOA chairperson.
Excuse me, Mr. Grady, can I be recognized?
Sir.
Nick, this may be more of a question towards you regarding the renewal of the variances. Are these fees that were discussed to be proposed to be waived, are these items going to be brought up in another year if there's no further development on the property on Gentleman?
If Mr. Espinar does not move on the granted variance, if y'all grant it, and it expires after another year, and he wants to come back and ask again, then it will probably be brought up again.
Okay. And second, once, Mr. Espinar develops the property, this variance is no longer an issue as there's going to be existing property on that site, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. Once the variance is granted and he's acted on it and developed his property, then it is set in stone.
Okay, thank you.
Turn on your mic.
My bad.
Whenever it's red, it's on.
Got it. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, the properties develop I've invested and put utilities, water, sewer, electrical, cable. So each lot has their sewer and water impact paid, deposits paid. It's ready to pull a permit once I get this, and I am trying to move forward to where I get them all done within this coming year.
Let me just clarify a little further. The second he gets a permit, he's acted on the variance.
Understood.
Yep.
Thank you for clarification.
May I be recognized?
Yes, sir.
I'm looking back to the part of the handout to the days of November 19th, 2021, when a request for relief from our codes was issued. And the appeal for this time, is it the same? I think one of them is the same. That's the parking lots. Are they the same as the ones that expired Or do we have a new one in here that I missed?
No,
They're
no,
the
they're
same,
going to
right?
be the same. They might
Okay.
be numbered a little different if the ordinance has been amended over the past 5 or
Okay.
6 years, but
Okay,
it's the same request.
thank you very much.
You got it.
Mr. Grady asked for further discussion. If not, you can call for the vote.
Okay. Anyone else who has comments or thoughts?
I'd like to be recognized.
Yes, sir.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay. Motion second.
I second.
Thank you.
Call for,
Call for a vote.
yep, call for a vote, Mr. Grady.
Thank you.
Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Aye. The ayes have it.
Let me clarify really quick. You need a 4-person aye to approve. A supermajority for Board of Adjustments.
Aye. Unless you're saying that we need another individual, or since I'm chairperson. it doesn't-
3-1 will deny this variance request.
Hmm. Yeah.
Mr. Grady, would you like to ask Mr. Sellers if he wants to add anything?
Mr. Sellers, do you have any? Mr. Gilliam?
I don't understand what your purpose of being here for, guys. I'm listening to you talk, but I'm not comprehending. Okay?
If there's any further clarification I provide, let me know. If you have questions, if not, then yeah,
I honestly don't know what question to ask, but I don't know. I can't read some of this.
so the requested variance, it is, the ordinance reads that for a townhouse, they would need to access their home with a vehicle at the rear of their house. So the,
Wasn't that all discussed years ago in 2021 when we started this project?
correct,
Got the blueprints, passed everything. Why
correct.
are we here back again
After,
for something that was passed in 2021?
if it's not acted upon, if Mr. Espinar did not act on that variance back then, it,
Well,
ex-
it's
it,
not our fault that he took years and years and years to work on.
May I be recognized? Thank you very much.
Yes, Mr. Gilliam.
Mr. Sellers, what has happened is they have run into some problems. They may have been financial or otherwise, and they let this variance that you remember Ms. Thalen, of course, when she was here. When Ms. Thalen was here, she processed the approval by the previous board for him to go ahead. That's why I asked the question, has anything changed from the variances he was asking in 2021 to now? And the answer I got from Nick was that, no, they have not changed.
there's no change.
So the things that were approved in 2021 are still needing to be reapproved because you have 1 year to start your project. Mr. Espinar's group did not get that done for whatever reason, which in my opinion is immaterial, why he didn't. Cash flow, I don't know, whatever. So he's coming back again and asking us to approve his appeal. And I strongly suggest that you would reconsider, because this property is set vacant for 5 years. It was previously approved by another council. It's a good project, and it makes good use of a limited space we have for building. So if you would reconsider, we would ask that the chair call for a vote again. and see if we can move out of this. I don't know. I probably violated every rule in Robert's Rules of Order by what I just did because I've never faced this situation before. But I think we have the authority to go back and ask for review and a second vote. And I'll leave that over to staff.
Thank you, Mr. Gillian. Okay. Okay, so once again,
So I would like to make a motion to reconsider the previous vote and call for a new vote and see if we can get it passed.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
I believe Mr. Sellers has a question.
I still don't know what we're here for. Is it a driveway, a parking lot? Is it access to the rear of the property?
I'm gonna bring up the
I
property
don't know
really
what
quick.
we're here for.
Bring up
Okay.
the PowerPoint. No, yeah. It's on the packet right now. Yeah, scroll up. Keep going, keep going. You know what, let's stop right here. All the homes are here. You're right, blue.
Yeah.
Is everybody visible? The homes are facing each other this way. They're all gonna be facing each other. Okay? The garage is gonna be placed at the front of each home. That's what Mr. Espinard is proposing. The ordinance does not allow that for R5 townhomes, these zone properties. They would need to access it from the rear. This middle block here is going to be his internal access to the garages at the front of each home. And that's what he's requesting variance for. If he's not granted it, he would have to find some way to add a garage at the back of each property, which I'm gonna say right now is not feasible because there's a 15-foot easement, 15 to 20-foot easement on this side of the property that does not allow him to put any access over. This would force him to reconfigure the entire property, not just replatting, which would be another process that he would go through the city for, but utilities with saws, with us for sewer and with electric. It would be a very hard financial burden for him, which I'm not going to speak for you. I would assume you'd be back here next year asking for another variance as opposed to going through the utility process. He's just asking for this internal block right here to be the way that he accesses the houses, the garage, instead of the back of the home.
Okay, so what is different now that this was voted on and passed 5 years ago?
There's no difference. A variance expires after 1 year. He didn't do anything after a year, it expired, he has to reapply. That's the only difference. It's just that he didn't do anything the first year.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, I think we have a motion on the floor.
You do.
Is there a second?
second. Okay, motion to vote.
Call for the vote.
Call. Okay, I vote aye.
Aye.
I'll vote aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes.
There's also action on his fees, a request a waiver for fees.
Anyone have comments on that?
I'd like to make a motion first and get it on the floor for discussion. I make a motion to waive the fees for this project.
Okay.
I second.
Mr.
Call
Grady,
for discussion.
Call for
Yeah.
discussion, gentlemen?
you can call for discussion.
Yes.
A reapplication fee?
It is a reapplication fee.
All right, yeah, yeah. I second that.
He already has a second. Call for, you can call for the vote now.
Okay. Motion to vote. Who would like to approve?
Aye.
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 We're good. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Time is 5:55. Okay. Now on to the Next item of business. Board will conduct a public hearing to receive public comments from the citizens regarding the variance applications submitted by Shalyn Dodson. Apologies if I got your name wrong. Of executive signs for the property located at 6700 Highway 10, west of Balcony Heights, Texas 7201, legally described as CB 5508D, Methodist Texan Hospital, Lot 17RA, Zone 02, high-rise office. The applicant is requesting variances from sections 153, 12, 17B through D, and 153, 12, 14B through D of City Code BOA chairpersons. We will begin for an open public hearing at 5:56.
There are no citizens to speak. You may call staff.
Okay, staff, Nick?
Great. Well, where we're getting here. Keep one more up, please.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm talking to Roy.
Oh.
Other way, Roy. Other way. Keep going. Great, right there. Yeah, I'm going to. So, just to give a little background here, Executive Signs, who we have a representative for, on behalf of Methodist Texan, has submitted a variance application for new directional signs and new monument signs at 6700 IH 10 West. That is going to be the main Methodist Texan here in the city off of the frontage road of I-10. The proposed signage currently that they want exceeds the height, the surface area, and the quantity limitations established by the current code. Requested variances would allow the installation of signage to improve navigation throughout the property for visitors and emergency vehicles while enhancing the facility's visibility and identification. We're going to go through the entire packet that I have here for y'all. Here's the permit denial letter that we have filled out for them. As they apply for this signage permit, we have to deny it based on what is currently adopted. Scroll down, please. Keep going, keep going. They filled out their application of why this is causing them hardships. Drop right there. Fantastic. So there's about, I don't know the exact quantity. Jacob can give a better answer here whenever he comes up here for questions, but I'm going to go through quite a few of these slides where this is going to be the proposed signage that is directional and monument. If y'all take a look at your screens, you'll see quite a few of them, and whether they're existing and they're going to be added or they're going to be removed. I'm sorry, existing, and then they're going to be removed and add a new one, or if there's no existing sign there and they're going to add a new one in place of a vacant area. So here are the proposed directional signs. There's a couple different variations depending on the direction or the placement of it. Scroll down, please. These all are going to be proposed at 6 foot high. Scroll up one click up, other way. There we go, 4 foot wide. So 24 square feet, 6 foot high signs. Scroll down, please. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. You'll see that a lot of these look the same. Stop on the ER one, on the red one. Fantastic. I just want to reiterate that this is going to help clarify visibility throughout the Methodist Texan campus, right? The last thing that we want, or I'm sure Methodist wants, is for somebody to not find the ER or whatever emergency area that they're trying to locate there. So this is going to help provide a lot of directional overview to anybody that's either visiting and or emergency vehicles that need to find what area they're trying to navigate to, right? I did speak to Methodist Texan earlier today. They did note that this is one of the only hospitals in the San Antonio-Bexar County area that has the emergency department at the rear of the building and not the front of the building. So this signage, the ER signage, and a lot of this monument signage, directional signage is important for them to be able to navigate and provide anybody that's there an ability to find it when most people are used to just driving to the front of the hospital and being able to find it there, right? So we're kind of in a unique situation here. Scroll down, please. Keep going. Again, you'll notice a lot of these directionals are going to look the same. Keep going. Keep going. going. Zoom in on that right before that one. Here you're going to see a lot of the proposed signage placement throughout the property. A lot of them are directional. We have a few monuments. The ones that are denoted as number 1 and number 13 along the frontage are going to be the monuments. Excuse me. All the rest of those signs, those yellow circles up there with any other number besides 1 or 13 is going to be your directional signs. Scroll down, please. Here is going to be the proposed change to the monument sign. This is the existing monument sign there. Again, I talked to Methodist earlier today, the director of facilities management. He did note that the signage hasn't been changed in 20-something years. They're looking to not only freshen up the signage, but they have a very common issue with people driving into this sign. Right, it is not easily viewable. There's only one ground light that's facing this, so it is a common issue that he has to deal with getting it replaced. And if you're not familiar with monument signs, they go from between 10,000 and probably 50, 100,000. They're very expensive signs to constantly keep maintaining. Scroll down, please. There, yep, there we go. Here's going to be the proposed new monument sign. If I can see, it is 10'6" high and 8' wide. This is not only providing more visibility from the frontage road, it's providing more visibility from the highway, anybody passing by, but it's also internally lit, which is going to provide more visibility at night, hopefully, and probably prevent more people from running into this sign, right? So there's 2 different proposed locations for this sign. One that you just saw that's going to replace the existing, and then one that's going to be at a different area that doesn't have a current a monument sign in place. Scroll down, please. This one's going to be replacing the existing at the main entrance along the I-10 frontage road. Scroll down. Scroll down. We're going to skip that one. Scroll down. And this one's going to, oh, you got it. This one's going to be added as a new sign that is not currently have anything there, right? It's just an empty patch of field, right? If you missed that first entrance, this is going to be your second one. We want to be able to provide that visibility. That way nobody's missing their access into the hospital. Scroll down, please. Just to reiterate here, the locations for the signs, 1 and 13 are going to be your monuments. All the rest of those signs there are going to be your directional signs, providing navigation to any area of the facility, whether it be parking, ER, any other department they need to kind of navigate to. Scroll down. Fantastic. Let's get to our presentation. Scroll down a little more. So property information. Shalon Dotson was the one that applied for this for executive signs. We have Jacob Dotson, who, can you remind me your position? President. Fantastic. Even better. Of executive signs here to speak on behalf of Methodist Texan. Address again, 6700 IH10 West. This is one of the only properties that's zoned O2 high-rise office. Our BCAP property ID is going to be 1303200. Scroll down, please. So we saw a lot of the pictures of the current site. Here's what it looks like for the monument sign areas. One does not have a sign on it. Another one has a sign that is within the limitations of what the ordinance says right now. I want to say it's probably around 5 feet, 5'6", something kind of at the max of what a monument sign is allowed to be. Scroll down. So requested variances, we have quite a few here. So on our directional signs, there's a maximum height of 3 feet that is set by the ordinance. They're requesting that their directional signs be changed to 6 foot in height. The maximum area currently allowed is 12 square feet. They're requesting it to be 24 square feet. And the maximum number of signs is 1 for every 10,000 square feet of space. So it's based on calculation. I don't know the square footage area of the hospital, but I'm sure it's not 150,000 square feet. They're requesting 15 signs on property there. Again, this is just to provide, directional enhancements to visitors and emergency vehicles, KDN, EMS services that need to be able to locate services very quickly at the hospital. The requested variances for monument signs. What's currently allowed is going to be 5'6". They're requesting that their signs be 10'8". The maximum area is that's allowed currently is 50 square feet. They're requesting it to be 80 square feet, and there is a limitation of one sign per frontage. So as you saw there, they're requesting two signs along IH10, the frontage road there. One is a pre-existing, and then one is a vacant area that serves as their secondary entrance to the hospital campus. Scroll down, please. Just to go over signage again, here are the two kind of main design layouts for them. One is just a general navigation sign, and then one is very specific to the ER. Scroll down. Here's your monument signage one more time with height and width, right? 10.8 and then 6 foot wide. It is a much larger sign, right? But we're making sure that we're allowing them the visibility for people that need to locate the emergency services that Methodist provides with ease, right? And if you miss this one, you want to be able to access the second one, and there's currently not a sign there. Scroll down, please. So ordinance intent is going to be the same as what we viewed earlier for Davila's wall sign. We're recognizing the safety, commercial, and emergency and informational needs, right, for the signs. This is clearly falling within that intent that we need to make sure emergency and informational needs are satisfied, right, and that's what they're requesting that variance for. It's intended to enhance property values, which this will, right? Methodist has a very strategic plan to make sure that they keep continually enhancing their property, and signage is just part of that plan. Maintains the aesthetic attractiveness, which this does. It's a very modern update, and it promotes commercial opportunity, not necessarily commercial opportunity, but enhancing to make sure those people come and view the hospital with ease. Right, it supports the objectives of what our master plan has. Scroll down. So, I did not have any responsive requests to this property. Right, we send it to 200-foot notice to everybody within that area. No phone calls, no responsive letters mailed back to me. But this is something where there's undue hardship to a property that serves a more purpose than most of our commercial properties. Right, it is an emergency service that is provided to the city. It is an undue hardship that's placed on them. Methodist is explaining that this is a compliance issue as well. That emergency vehicles need a certain certain requirement for their signage. So these emergency vehicles, EMS, fire, police, whatever it is, can access their property and navigate with ease. And it just helps the visitors as they need to go there as well. So recommendation from staff is to approve this variance for both directional and monument signs. I think that's my last slide, right? It is. Great. So once we get into discussion, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Is Mr. Shallon Dodson here with us? Jacob. Oh, yes. Oh,
So
Would you please speak
before
up?
we do that, you need to close the public hearing
okay, yes.
and state the time.
Yes, the time is 6:09 and we're closing the public hearing. And we begin receiving public comments from Mr. Dodson. Oh, read number, yes. The board will consider an active variance application submitted by Shallon Dodson of executive signings for the property located at 6700 Highway 10, West Buckhorn Heights, Texas 78201, requesting variances of sections 150.28B, commercial businesses, and sections 153.12.17B through D and 153.12.14B through D of City Code. And today we have a member. What was your name again, sir? Jacob Dawson. Would you please come to the mic? Closer here.
Jacob Dotson with Executive Signs.
Anyone have any comments?
I do.
Go ahead.
My concern would be blocking the traffic, the view of the traffic in intersections,
Yes, sir.
particularly on 1 and 13. When you're pulling out in front of the access road there. It seems like, you're limited vision.
On the
Have y'all
frontage road?
considered that?
Well, so are you talking about on the frontage road of I-10?
Right,
That right there?
right.
Well, I mean, there's a setback that goes off of Oliver property line for the signs to go with. So really, the only people that it would go is when they're leaving, but it would be set back enough to where they can see the frontage. So it shouldn't have.
How
shouldn't
far
be-
back would it be set back?
I need to check to see how far we have it set off, but the existing one is within where it should be, and then the second one would be at least that far back as well.
Let me clarify a little further, right? So we see the existing one right there. As you're pulling in, there's no obstruction to view for that traffic on the frontage road. The road directly behind it is going to be your exit road. You can see oncoming traffic is set back enough where you're able to see, right? Let's go down to that bottom one. Oh, maybe I didn't have it in there. Scroll up. It is in the original, so yeah. One.
It was down, I think.
Oh, did we skip it? Go back the other
Yeah.
way. The way.
One more. Just under that
One
one.
more.
Right there.
Yeah, there we go. That one. So this one's going to be your exit, right? There's no need to view to the right as you're.
We're not.
Hey, Dave. Dave, turn to Michael.
Just worried about the view, the sign blocking your view of oncoming traffic as you're pulling out on number 9.
So this one, I'm looking probably 20, 25 foot setback from the main
Yeah.
road. So that's what you're looking at on your left of your screen there is going to be Crossroads Boulevard. And then at the bottom of your screen right there, that's going to be Denny Lane, which is private access road. It's not set back very far from Denny Lane, but it is not a city right-of-way street, right? So we can't really regulate that setback. Crossroads, we're well within the setback to make sure that it's not obstructing any view there.
There's an existing sign there in the place.
There is an existing sign there, yeah.
That's the only really questions I had, only concerns I had.
Okay.
Thank you.
May I be recognized?
Of course, Mr. Gilliam, go ahead.
First of all, I'd like to say Dave beat me to the gun on that one because that was my concern too. Line of sight to oncoming or crossing traffic to the hospital. But after going back and looking at the pictures again, it looks like line of sight will not be a problem. We have more bushes in our city that block sight than this sign will ever do. So I think it's going to be okay. What we have to realize, if we change this to 6 feet, it's not a legal change of the code, but people will be asking for more variances on it. But I don't think this one in itself is a problem. Thank you.
I think there's maybe 2 or 3 properties in the city that have directional signs, Methodist being one. And it's going to be your drive-ins, right? Or drive-through restaurants. So Chick-fil-A, that one's going to be another one that has directional signs. Those are the only ones that really provide any desire or kind of need to have them, right? But this, like you said, Mr. Gillian, this one's kind of a little bit different of a situation, right? Where it's a hospital where we're serving those needs for emergency services, not, commercial needs, right?
I have one more question, please, if I may. The sign itself, excuse my voice.
Yes, sir.
I'm working outside today and a lot of that pollen got in my throat. The sign itself is an inert sign. It's not a video sign.
No, sir.
Is it a lighted sign?
It's internally lit, the 2 monuments, yes, sir.
Yeah, so it is a lit sign,
Yes,
which
sir.
you have to have at night anyway.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
May I have the floor?
Of course.
Lamar, just in response to your concerns about other future complaints, I spent 5 years on planning and zoning. The entire 5 years I spent on planning and zoning was spent on signs. Fortunately, I got out before the final outcome. But it was a battle from day one as to the location and the sign and the size. And it's been an ongoing issue forever. And it really needs to be revisited. And I think a lot of variances should be allowed. With that said, I don't have a problem with these signs.
May I be recognized?
Of course.
I'd like to call a motion to call the question.
Second. Call the motion to question.
We have, now, no one person can call the question without a vote of the governing group. So we need to go and ask for a vote to call the question, because what this does, for those that don't know, it stops all discussion about this particular item that's on the agenda.
Okay.
So my motion is to call the question.
Okay. 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 Motion to vote. Motion to vote.
I'm going to make a motion to pass.
Yay.
You're-
Thank you.
Hey,
And yes, yay. Motion passes.
Okay, now you can call for a motion to approve or disapprove because all discussion has stopped.
Okay. Motion to approve or disapprove?
Make a motion to approve.
So make a motion to approve.
Okay. Second.
Call for the vote.
Okay. Motion to vote?
I thought we just did.
Oh.
I'm,
Apologies.
I'm lost.
Oh,
I
that's,
thought we just voted on stopping the discussion,
Stop
and now we need
discussion.
to, we need to have,
I'm the person that got lost.
now we need the motion to approve or disapprove, and you have a motion on the table to approve, and you just second, I believe.
Yeah,
okay.
my vote is yay.
Okay. Yay.
yay.
Okay.
And yes. I've been so used to having everything on record to make sure everyone hears their part and go by the line.
Fine.
My apologies.
So you can call for adjournment because you finished your book of business.
Okay, so call for adjournment.
Motion to approve, to adjourn.
Okay, second.
Second.
Yeah. Adjourn.
We have to vote on it.
Oh,
There's a motion on the table. Aye.
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 aye. The time is 6:19.